Hey, hey, hey.
Let me fix this. I like that view better. Okay, happy day 3. This is our check-in.
Happy day 3.
Yeah. Well, you seem
You want to go
really,
first?
you seem super perky. You're always so happy and energized, but you've been texting me today telling me it's been a really hard day for you.
Oh my goodness. So even right now, although oddly enough, just in the energy of being together, it's dissipated. So I almost don't even want to name it. But I woke up with the fiercest headache. I mean, and I woke up an hour and a half later today. Really bad headache. I have been drinking water out the wazoo. I even took a bath with Epsom salt, trying to help my
Oh,
body, just I want to cooperate with what my body's purging.
yeah.
But and then I was concerned because I was going to be recording. I was a guest on someone's podcast today, and I had all the energy, completely forgot about my headache, which is interesting because you're pointing out to me that that happened again right now. But it's been right here all day long, just like,
What does
and it's
that
been,
mean? What does that particular area mean? Do you know?
I no, I don't, but it's definitely been like right there. And I even drank a little more coffee in the afternoon after I read the article you sent. So, but really just seeing if it would help it dissipate, but it did not, and no problem. I just keep reminding myself, like when a muscle's sore, oh, I'm getting stronger. Oh, okay, the work that needs to happen is happening. This is just
Yeah.
a symptom. But yeah, physically today, not hunger wise, I really have had almost zero hunger, like even thoughts about food. But the headache has been quite a distraction.
Oh, I'm sorry. And
So
you don't take
thinking
it.
wise,
You don't take.
normally I write. No, my husband's all, you're allowed to take Tylenol. And I said, no, I don't want to mess with the fast. I like a clean fast, and
I
I
totally
like
get
giving
it.
myself to the process. So
Yeah, I know it just doesn't make any sense to take
no, I'm a
Advil or whatever.
purist. Exactly.
Yeah, me too. Well, kind of, except for I found a coffee excuse today. Well, I decided to add to my discomfort. Now I'm looking at myself going, oh my God, I didn't know. But I decided to do a chemical peel on my face, which is why my face looks like this, because I don't know. I just thought, I just have been thinking about doing that for a while. And I thought I might as well just do all this stuff at once and just get all the like layers of everything off.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
I'm
love
doing
it.
that too.
I love it.
And plus, like, since I'm just being raw on the, I don't know why I'm into this right now, but honestly, I was thinking about it earlier, and I think that it is because a lot of women are very weird about doing stuff like this. Like a lot of people will look at this and go like, who do they think they are? Why are they doing this? As I have had those thoughts over the years watching people, but I really think that it facilitates the conversation. I mean, I'm so
Absolutely.
interested in like, because when you see other people doing things, whether you judge it or not, it doesn't really matter. It opens up this conversation, this
Yeah,
awareness around it. You're allowed to like
absolutely.
think about it and talk about it maybe more
Yeah,
than you would.
yeah.
And like I would never get on Zoom like without makeup or like looking like this. I just normally am like business-ish, you know?
Yeah,
So, but I feel like I'm in this cleansing thing, and I don't know, it's like peeling off the cocoon and then the butterfly will emerge.
yeah. Like last night, I got off our call and I remembered that I had this antioxidant or antioxidant. I had a cleansing tea, like
Mhm.
just to, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. but it's that same kind of idea. It's like I want to give myself to the full process, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And I've been
Yeah.
meditating more.
Yeah.
Even the bath today, like it all feels like, and I started reading more about fasting, just thinking about, because I was reading about the emotional links and things that have been discovered and different scientific studies. But it was really intriguing because they talked about an emotional drop that sometimes happens. But then on like day 7, this immense clarity, and day 10 seemed to be like some sort of magic day. So I was really, really excited that we were going for 10 full days. Like I just found, and I think I needed, because of the headache, to remind myself of what's available to me. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right. And, and it was fun to look at outside sources and be like, oh, that's why I'm all in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we each share a few of these? So I love what you shared about the emotion. Yeah. And I mean, I really was feeling like really depressed almost yesterday. I didn't realize it, but I was just like, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so I think what else did that article say?
Well,
Is
it
there anything
basically
else you want
taught,
to share?
well, in terms of the emotions, and I'm not going to retain all of it because, it brought up different, like our dopamine and our this and our that, but it talked about when the glucose drops, and that's the initial. So many people, not all, find a dip in their emotion that seems to go along with the glucose level. I didn't understand the connection as to why there's this big shift. One of the things it talked about as we move further into this is the full on concentration clarity.
Yeah.
That was super exciting to me, but that
Yeah.
was more after like day 7, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
I
Might
read
have
more.
to extend this. We'll see how we feel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it
Um,
have to do with converting from burning sugar to burning fat? Like when you're adjusting to that, because that could happen at day 2, day 3, I mean, like
like
you
if
said,
you're going into ketosis, you mean?
yeah, is that when you're dipping, like before
They
you fully
they
adjust
didn't
it?
reference that. So that was and when you read articles that are using lots of scientific language, I mean, I was reading something, they're citing this study and citing that study
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the footnotes. So I got a little lost in the some of the language, but I did read more about autophagy as well, and the regeneration. It's not just the cleansing of cells; it's a
I know
regeneration.
stem
And
cells.
so the anti-aging and all that. And I wanted to find a stronger link. Like last night when you were talking about where the cells that are storing emotion, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted, so the reason I ended up in scientific articles is I was looking for a scientific link to bring me to what I already hypothesized just based on what I've witnessed, is that the physical is often mirroring the emotional, the spiritual, like we start to see it everywhere in nature, etc. So I wanted to read more about that and even see if there were parts that I could integrate into my practice in terms of working with others. So I didn't find that, but I was super encouraged, and it was good to see that even if I experience an emotional dip, just to weather it, to know that, hey, that's part of the process. Trust the process. There's this is not indicative of a problem. It's just part of the process. So I'm starting to see a lot of, for my own self, like a lot of mirrors of other areas of life. Oh, it's just part of the process. Don't worry about it, Lisa. Just trust it. Stay with it. Stay in it. A dip doesn't mean anything.
I love
So,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to that kind of control. It's like mastering the subconscious, mastering the emotions where you're not, and I don't want to get like, I don't want people.
Michelle, that's one thing that article said, and I'm so glad you said that, because it talked about people that have trouble regulating their emotions and that get ruled by their emotions, that they have found this to be a link in self-mastery. I was so blown away, excited by that. Like, oh, wait a minute. You mean this physical practice can help a human being master their emotional well-being? And so I don't know what all that means, but I was super inspired just to read it, just to be thinking about it, to think about that connection for people. Yeah, and I say for people, I mean, even for myself, though I feel like regulating my emotions is something that I've become more masterful at.
Yeah, you definitely have over the last week. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm so kidding. But
I love you.
but of course it is, because think of it like this. I mean, this is why we do like these challenge lifestyles. Like this is why we do like a cold shower, or push beyond, that last rep when you're lifting weights. Like, always going beyond your comfort zone is really to master. When you don't feel like it, you do it anyway, right? It's discipline.
Absolutely.
So it's no different. It's just another physical thing. It's just that it's so integrated into our biology that we think that it's normal for it to run our lives.
Well, and because it's like so socially normal, like doing something like this, the immediate reaction, not from my immediate people now, because they've seen me do stuff like this for so long, but I mean, it used to just be something I didn't tell people that I did, because people freak out.
I
like,
know.
You're gonna die.
You're anorexic. You have an eating disorder. And that's a real thing, but this is not that. Just because, and I mean, our society is so crazy. Like, if you don't eat at Thanksgiving, you've got an eating disorder, right? Like, what is wrong with you? Or if you're not drinking when everybody else is drinking, or what, it's because, this is something interesting, because as women, we're all saying, we always talk about, we rise together, we collaborate, we grow, all this community stuff. I think there's value in that. But I have also found more freedom in separating. Like, sometimes you just have to go it alone, and then you gain power and confidence and clarity in that. And that's a really good thing to have too. I think it's conscious.
It's not an either or, it's a both and.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when.
And listen, if we rise together, sometimes we need someone who's willing to jump off and rise.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's why we're so grateful for the people that go first, right?
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes we've got to be willing to be that person that'll go first, or be the person that'll go different than the crowd we're in is going, right? And then we get to rise. That's why championing ourselves and becoming the best version of ourselves is literally like, we want to be a world changer, then work on ourselves. Because that's really the best gift I can give, not just to me, but to, and not just to the people that I know, because it doesn't matter. The people I influence, like, it goes out and out and out and out. It's a real thing. We really do change the world. Like, it's not a like,
at least
grandiose idea. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I know. I just keep like, you start feeling like I don't know. I start feeling like my body, I do weird things. Like, I just think if I feel compelled to eat, because I'm not hungry either. It's the witching hour. Like, I just want to go like eat something. But I just keep thinking of like all the fat on my body I can eat. Like just let your body eat.
Yes, like let my
I mean,
body
that's
eat.
what it's like. That's what autophagy really is. It
Yeah.
starts, and what a miraculous mechanism. I'm just blown
Yes.
away by what our body
Yeah.
innately is designed to do this.
It's
So, like you
phenomenal.
said, like leaning into that, that is an experience of trusting the faith. And yet I will just very briefly go back to the article just for those low moments of the day, because I was having I was like, okay, can I have coffee or not? And that article, I don't know if you actually read it, but
Oh no, I read it. I like I said, I read it and then I had that much more coffee.
So it cracked me up because, okay, first of all, it's basically, just to paraphrase a few points, it's basically saying coffee can actually assist in the process of autophagy. So your brain goes, okay, I can have coffee. And then I'm like, well, I don't really like coffee without cream. So I scroll down. Coffee.
And then it had that almond milk splash.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
it's
see that?
basically like, well, it starts with, you could put butter in your coffee, but it probably won't make a difference, probably. However, I mean, it's your typical like Google this. Who has all the answers to the universe? And so anyway, it was fun, like to butter or not to butter. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I can have coffee, butter, and you know how your mind starts going. So I'm like, no, I don't think the butter thing's a good way to go.
Yeah.
And then
Besides, I don't want to put fat in my diet when I'm wanting my body to go to my own fat
exactly
reserves.
right, like what? Yeah, that isn't making sense. But so basically, you can have coffee and you could put a splash of cream if you really need to do that. But I've just been tea. I've just been having tea. So
Because I've been doing intermittent fasting and I'm all about a clean fast. So I got into doing black coffee with an intermittent fast. And then so the black coffee for me, it's like I'm well trained. But
must be really good coffee.
oh, I
What kind
love,
of
well, I use
coffee?
a French press, but I'm using
What kind of coffee are you? My
tell
son has
people what kind
become
of coffee I'm
this
using. I'm
connoisseur.
using Folgers.
Oh
I'm
my God.
using Folgers dark roast in a
Yeah.
French press. I stayed
Okay,
with them a
that's
long
a
time and it's
problem.
fabulous.
Okay,
It's
all
really
right.
good. So well, emotionally for me, I feel still like yesterday in terms of I know something's here and
Yeah,
I'm letting it come, but I'm not, so it's not like I'm repressing anything, but I'm not experiencing emotion. I feel very like neutral, if you will. And spiritually, it feels like I'm doing spiritual. I don't know whether it's revelation. I don't know what exactly. It says my internet's unstable. I'm not sure exactly what I'm waiting for, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the practice and do the fast and see what happens. But I do have a sense of expectancy. Like I just feel like it's all working together and I don't have I know it's good, but I don't know what the good is.
that's good. So physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you're good,
Yeah. I mean,
except
physically
for
it's
the
been the hardest
headache.
day, but I'm good.
Except for the headache, and
Yeah.
that'll go away. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
think
I have drank more water though. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm just nursing. Like every time I stop or don't take a sip, I have to take a sip because I feel parched.
that's good. Yeah. You might be like a day ahead of me on all that detoxing. I don't know. Everybody's body is different.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, spiritually, I think if this is spiritually or I mean, it's all just connected, really. But I think that I'm just aware when I'm fasting of the emotional addictions that I have. like to food, of course. And and also when I start thinking about different things, I think there's just more of an awareness of where, like you were talking about the subconscious, I just become more aware of where I'm unconsciously limiting myself in everything, in business, in how much I think I can accomplish. When I'm really like on a mission and I'm driven and I'm just like plowing through things, that is when I'm at my very best. But when I'm not clear and I start procrastinating, I start doing those tasks that I'm incompetent at, or competent but don't like, when I'm not like in my genius zone, I it's a horrible place to live. Like no one should be living there. But I kind of know, I'm aware that I'll tether myself to that, thinking that that is the discipline I need. When in fact, it's flipped. And today I was like, wait a minute, I know this. Why have I been doing this stuff that doesn't, it's not where like when you're living in your genius, your business expands quickly and you just start moving and seeing and thinking. And then when like sometimes I'll pull back and go, well, I didn't do all this stuff that I really should do, when it is not the truth. Really, someone else needs to be doing that. There's no way I should be doing that crap. I mean, and allowing, so I just was seeing that again really clearly today. And then like, okay, well, and that's when I would want to like go like eat something. And I was like, that's weird. So I'm just not dealing with this thing. And I think I just, it's because there's no distraction again. You just see what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
You can't hide from it. If you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't, whatever else you do. Like I've eliminated everything already from, like you were saying, I already am pretty holy, clean, and perfect.
This holy girl flipped you off in her head when you said that.
I'm totally kidding. But I mean, what else? Like, where are you going to hide? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's good because all the places you're hiding, you start seeing it and it feels really, you feel it. Because food masks a whole litany of crap.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, we learn that in society from a young age to depend on food to mask things.
Yeah.
And I definitely noticed it's my go-to. Before we wrap up, I want to tell you something that's coming to my awareness. So the first night we did it, my husband like fried something, and the smell of the oil, like it physically made me ill. And I was like, what are they putting in their body? Right. And just, okay, accept and release, no judgment. But I could smell, like it didn't smell healthy. I can't explain it. Then
it's rancid. That's why.
The second night, my hubby picked up for himself takeout Chinese. And it was less so, but it was the same thing. I was like, it had me evaluating, like, I don't want to put that in my body.
Yeah.
And so it's just a weird thing because I was only on day 2, day 1 when I smelled the oil, day 2 when it just got my attention, like, that's interesting. It doesn't smell right to me. It smelled flavorful. It smelled like my tummy rumbled, but it didn't smell nourishing. In fact, it smelled the opposite. So I don't know, but that was interesting.
Well, we really do get a reset, right? It's like when you don't eat sugar for a long time or bread, or, I mean, you know what? I didn't drink coffee for 5 years. That was a long time ago, but I didn't drink coffee for 5 years. And I
Wow.
remember the first time I started drinking it again when I had started a new business, and I was drinking anything around that had caffeine in it because I was so tired every night, and right when our show was going to start, I'd be like, I can't even think, and we're just like the event is about to start. So it was really great. But the first
Did-
time I was like, it's like, why does everyone like coffee? I don't understand this.
Well, every time I've cleansed and reintroduced like sugar or something like that, my body repels it. And then I have to persevere to put poison in my body
I
for it to
know,
get used to
and
it.
you do, right? I
And I
do
do.
that too. It's so crazy.
I've
I'll
been
be
on
like, okay,
sugar for
one more
6 weeks,
French fry.
but yeah, it's so, but yeah, and I don't know what that is, but I think it's the subconscious. Anyway, our 10 minutes is 25
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay. All right. Ciao. Have fun. I'll see you. Are you coming tomorrow? Are you, can you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, I know you're on a trip, kind of. You're visiting.
Yeah, but I'm heading back. I came the night before so that I could be back easily by 5 tomorrow.
Okay.
And not just for you, my hubby's home and, I want to spend time with him. So it's
Okay,
all
good. I'll see you tomorrow then. I
see
hope
you
you feel
tomorrow.